Chapter 5. The Union Yes Promise. Quality, excellence, and value. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Warren Buffett. Performance Profile. Wayne Gretzky. Title of the profile, The Great One. 20 seasons as the greatest hockey player in the history of the world. His key to success? He used natural skills, competitive fire, and team orientation to win everywhere he went with every team he played on. Plus, everyone liked and respected him wherever he went. Backed it up? NHL all-time points, assists, and goals. 4 Stanley Cups, 9 years MVP, 15-time All-Star, holds 61 NHL records. What's the lesson? Skills, attitude, and behaviors all contribute to value as the greatest to play his game. Value. We cost more and better be worth it. When you go to buy something, how do you decide which brand you want? Is it only about price? Whatever's easiest to find? Other reasons? Consider these choices. Hyundai versus GM or Ford. Craftsman versus Buffalo Tools. Red Wing versus Payless Shoes. Made in the USA, made in China. People buy things based on value. They ask themselves, what am I getting for my money? You do it? We all do. We're all willing to pay more if we think we're getting a better overall value. Union construction is always more expensive than non-union because it's a better value. We're never going to compete on price. They can always go cheaper than us. We have to compete by making sure the quality and speed of our work makes it a better value. Union Yes value versus the Walmart world. We now live in a Walmart world. Walmart is the biggest retailer in the world, mostly because most people don't care as much about others as they do about getting the best deal for themselves. It's pretty sad and selfish in some ways, but that's what we have to deal with. A lot of guys will cry and complain, but it won't put one more guy to work. In the Walmart world, everyone wants to know one thing. What have you done for me today at the best possible price? That's the question everyone is asking union contractors and workers. They say, hey, we're paying more to use you than non-union, so what have you done for me today at that price? It's not enough to say, well, we took good care of families, we set people up for stable retirement, we helped the community. The Walmart world and today's marketplace will give us 2 words in return. Fuck that. Cruel, brutal, and unforgiving. The market doesn't care. It only wants to hear about value, return on investment, and the bottom line. So the Walmart world and the competitive marketplace will stick its ugly mug right in our face and ask again. Now, like I asked you before, what have you done for me today at the best possible price? And our answer must be, we gave you more than you paid for, more than you asked for, and more than you expected, asshole. Union Yes, our bumper sticker promise. What are we going to tell the market about the fact that we're the best value in the world? How about the worn-out slogan, Union Yes? Union Yes is on 100,000 truck bumpers. Union Yes is a nice, little feel-good, meaningless bullshit slogan. Union Yes doesn't tell me what value's in it for me when I use union construction. Union Yes is an incomplete sentence. When we approach contractors and project owners, developers, and others, we got to make the Union Yes slogan into the Union Yes promise. Union, yes, we're more productive. Union, yes, we're better value. Union, yes, we're a higher quality. Yes, we have great attitudes. Yes, we are safer. Union, yes, we're worth the extra money. Union, yes, we're the best in the world. These are the real messages that we need to get out to the marketplace. The real cost of union value. Value is about getting what you pay for. So let's look at what the contractor pays when he hires a union guy on his payroll. Strange but true, what you get paid is not the same as how much you cost the contractor. When a union contractor hires you, He has to pay Social Security, payroll tax, workers' compensation, disability insurance, and more on every hour you get paid for. In construction, it usually adds 40% to the contractor's cost, even though you never see it. 40% more. And all this goes into his bids when he's competing with that non-union contractor. So for example, if you're getting $35 an hour total wages and fringe package, that means it costs the contractor around $50 per hour. Why is this important? Because that's the cost the contractor has to use to bid the job to get the work. So you might be getting paid $300 a shift, but it's costing the contractor $500. And that's the cost he has to pass on to the project owner. And that's the cost he's using to compete against non-union contractors. It's important to know that the contractor is planning on getting a certain amount of work done for every dollar he pays out, including the ones you never see. Value has a big dollar cost to the contractor and his client, and it's important to remember the fact. The team cost of union value. Now that we've looked at what the contractor pays you, let's look at a job site team. How much does a crew cost per hour, day, week, month, year? Who cares? We all should, and here's why. The contractor always bids based on his best estimate of crew cost and production. If he figures right, he makes money. If he figures wrong, he loses money and maybe his whole company. The thing is, his profit can disappear fast if crew costs don't match his estimated production. For example, let's say a contractor's bidding on a job. Here's how he might figure his crew costs based on 8 journeymen. 8 journeymen at a total wage and fringe package of like $40 per hour each. Now you add in all the costs the government makes the contractor pay that you never see, including unemployment and workers' comp and the rest, and it adds up to about 40% on top of that $40 per hour. So that means each worker costs the contractor about $60 per hour. Now let's look at the crew. 8 journeymen times $60 cost per hour costs that contractor $480 an hour on that job site. Let's take a look at 8 hours. $480 times 8 hours is $3,840 a day. Let's just take a look at a 5-day week. $3,840 times 5 days is $19,200 cost to that contractor every week. And those 8 journeymen for a month, $19,200 a week times 4.3 weeks in a month, which is about right, it's costing that contractor $82,560 a month in wages and fringes to put union journeymen on his job. Wow! It adds up to some big numbers quick, doesn't it? Now maybe you can understand why the contractor gets a little touchy when his estimates of production don't match up to those heavy dollars. Now let's look at some common delays that can slow down a job and how much they might cost using those numbers we just talked about. Let's say you're waiting for materials to be delivered and it's 40 minutes. 40 minutes times $480, contractor just lost $320. Let's say a guy doesn't show up and he delays a pour or an installation and it costs 2 hours. 2 hours times $480, contractor just lost $960. Let's say that there's a problem with another subcontractor in the way. 6-hour delay times $480, $2,880 right out of that contractor's pocket. It doesn't take a math whiz to see these numbers can add up fast. None of these things were planned by the contractor, and for him to get the job, he figured every dollar spent for labor meant something was going to get done. So when a contractor looks at crew costs, he's not planning on Mike or John or Jose leaving something at the yard and spending 45 minutes to go back and fetch it. He's not thinking the foreman might forget a critical step in prep work one day and lose 2 hours. He's not planning on the concrete, wire, steel, asphalt, jacks, welding gear, fuel truck, pump truck, drywall, or anything else not being there when they're needed. He's not planning on the concrete truck being late or the other subcontractor being in the way. When it does happen, it's his ass and his money on the line. Lots of small hits are just as bad as one really big hit, and they can drive a union contractor right out of business. And that means we all lose. What am I getting at? Value is about getting the best deal from the money spent. Value added or taken away is driven by cost. Workers standing around cost just as much as workers doing productive work. That's the simple version of crew costs. It adds up quick whether you're making it or losing it. What if it was you? Value and quality. When you go to buy a product, do you just look for whatever's cheapest? Do you buy the cheapest tools, cars, guns, boats, beer, diapers, or condoms? I'm guessing not. I'm guessing you shop for quality and value. So when you spend your cold hard cash, you have some expectations. Let me ask you, what if you bought a new Harley and it had an oil leak? What if you bought a new Maytag washer and it shredded your clothes? What if you bought a new Dell laptop and it wouldn't boot up? What if you bought a new Callaway driver and it had a loose head? What if you bought a new Remington and it misfired? What if you bought a new DeWalt cordless drill and the battery pack wouldn't charge? Or you bought a new F-150 and the engine light came on the first day you bought it? Would you be happy? Not even. You'd be pissed off. Would you think about making a different choice next time? It's the same with union construction. Every day we ask developers and companies to use union contractors and workers even though we're more expensive. We have to provide more value. If they pay a premium and they don't get premium work and productivity, they're going to be cheated and dissatisfied. Plus, next time, they're a lot more likely to go non-union. When you pay more, you expect more. If you get it, you'll buy again next time. And it's the same for the people who hire you. Performance profile, Tiger Woods. Title of profile, Practicing Excellence. He's a young player who became the best in the world with a single-minded focus on excellence and perfection. Practices 4 to 6 hours every day. Uses 2 coaches at all times. Absolutely focused on being the best and will accept no less from himself. Keys to success? Never eased up on himself, even after he became the #1 golfer in the world. Total competitive fire. Compares himself to his own best effort. Backed it up? Won the PGA Grand Slam, 4 Masters tournaments, 2 U.S. Opens, and 2 PGA championships. Career winnings, $39,700,000. Endorsement money, they don't make numbers big enough to count it. What's the lesson? Excellence doesn't come naturally. You got to focus on it and practice at it. You're never good enough, especially when everyone else thinks so. Excellence, 0 rework required. If you don't have time to do it right the first time, when are you going to have time to redo it? That's an old construction saying. Shabby, poor quality work that has to be done over does not reflect excellence. Rework means someone is not committed to excellence. Rework kills the value of union construction. Reasons for rework usually include one or more of the following. Work done in a hurry without an eye to detail. Wrong tools or materials. No consideration for quality or just didn't care. Unfinished business. Poor supervision. Material defects. Poor final inspection or testing. Cutting corners. Or finally, the skill level was just not sufficient for the work. The trouble is, rework is like twice as expensive as doing it right the first time. Don't be the reason the cost on your job doubles. Most of the problems listed above can be dealt with on the front end. Pay attention to the details before they become expensive rework problems. One small mistake. How does rework happen? How do whole projects get totally messed up? Easy. One small mistake at a time. Now, any one little mistake might not seem significant at the time, but even minor mistakes can turn into major problems later on after it's too late. The right offensive guard for the top team in the NFL isn't paying attention on just one play and missed his block. A small mistake, 1 out of 200 plays, and the linebacker got by him and blindsided the quarterback. who lost the fumble in the fourth quarter with 9 seconds to go on 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line in the Super Bowl. Hey, what's one little mistake?